ladies and gentlemen. You know, it was probably about 2 weeks ago when testing was an issue during one of Trump's press conferences. He's done so many. And he said, we will test the ones that need to be tested. Well, that's a problem because there are many people that are asymptomatic. They carry CV, but they show no symptoms. And the medical community and scientists already said that person can still spread the virus. And it's going to be different depending on the person. Of course, a person with a weakened immune system will show symptoms, and somebody that may have a more built up immune system, they will be asymptomatic. They don't show any symptoms, but they're still out here spreading it. So when you say we are testing the ones that need to be tested, then you're skipping over all of these people. And that being said, you're never getting rid of this thing. The way the US is doing it, you will never, ever, ever get rid of CV. You're never getting rid of it. So, yes, you can spread CV even if you don't have symptoms. Here's why the facts are so important. There's one question about the new CV that keeps coming up over and over again. Why should I have to stay at home, avoid seeing my friends, and not let my kids play with other kids? If we're all fine and healthy, none of us have symptoms, none of us have been exposed, none of us is at high risk. We don't even have many cases in my area. Why do we still have to isolate ourselves as much as possible? The short answer, because we know that CV can spread before people have symptoms. And we know that not everyone is getting tested. So it's entirely possible that while everyone in your immediate circle seems fine and safe, there's at least one person who is unknowingly spreading the virus without any symptoms at all. It is possible that this is happening outside your immediate circle, but somewhere else in your town, leading to a swath of cases that no one will see coming until some people do start to have symptoms, end up in the hospital, and get tested. This is why we all need to be social distancing, even when it seems like we shouldn't, it doesn't apply to you. But we're still figuring out exactly who is really contagious without symptoms. Now, to my knowledge, the only one I have seen testing everybody are the people overseas. Even if you're not showing symptoms, they are testing you. Here in the US, they don't want to be bothered with you unless you show symptoms. Again, you have zero chance of getting rid of this thing the way that the US is doing it. Not possible. Okay. This is how a virus spread. First, let's discuss that we mean when we say viral transmission, which refers to the process by which viruses spread from host to host. Typically, this is a person to person, but can also include viruses jumping from one species to another. Okay, and that's when they're talking about animal to human transmission. The new CV mostly seems to be spreading via droplet transmission. This happens when someone close to you, within about 6 feet, is coughing, sneezing, talking, singing, or just breathing, releases droplets containing the virus, which can then land on your nose, mouth, or enter your system. These droplets can also land on surfaces like countertops and doorknobs, which you might touch. If you touch your face afterwards, especially your eyes, mouth, or nose, the virus can get into your body. Once the virus is in your body, it can attach to or enter your cells. While inside a host cell, the virus shuts down the cell's defense mechanism and commandeers your cell's resources to make more viruses, especially turning your own cells into a virus producing factory, each of which can release more viruses to start the process all over again on other cells. Now you see why some people test positive, then negative, and then positive again. This is explaining it to you. This kicks off the incubation period, which is the time frame when your body is producing more of the virus, but you're not yet showing symptoms like a fever, aches, coughing, and shortness of breath. During this time, there may not be any clinical symptoms to alert the person that they are in fact infected. This is called pre-symptomatic transmission. So you're in the early stages of this virus, and even in the early stages, you're spreading it, but you're not feeling any symptoms. This is the reason why you can't just say, well, I'm not sick, and no one I'm spending time with is sick. None of us have been exposed to anyone showing signs. So we aren't in the clear. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work that way. Researcher does back up the idea that people are likely spreading the new CV before they have symptoms. A recent Center for Disease Control and Prevention report found that 331 of 712 people on the Diamond Princess cruise who tested positive for SARS-CoV um, didn't have any symptoms when they were when they tested positive. So when they were still on that cruise ship, which many of us heard about, so they're saying 331 people out of 712 tested positive without showing any symptoms at all. That amounted to 46.5% of those with positive tests. So almost half. They could have had the potential to spread the virus at that time, but we aren't sure how much that actually happened. Another CDC article described how the new CV spread from one teacher to two others. During a diner meeting on January 6th, one person in the trio developed symptoms, started feeling ill 2 days after the dinner, and the others who aren't known have had any other potential CV exposures developed symptoms 4 to 6 days after dining, respectively. They all appeared to be fine and healthy at the time they ate dinner, but it seems that one teacher still spread the new CV to others, then reportedly spread it to, their own family members. Wow. So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the US only want to test you if you're showing symptoms. So Trump is wrong when he says we're testing the ones that need to be tested. That doesn't even make common sense. If you got asymptomatic people out here, then what he is saying is you're never going to see the end of this virus if you're doing it the way that Trump said it should be done. You test only those that we need to be tested, the ones that are showing symptoms. Then y'all get used to this lockdown because you're going to be in it for a long, long, long time. Please leave your comments and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.